Good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning,
Ah,
Mr. Lasende.
Mr. Lasende, yeah, sorry, sir, for coming this late. I
No
just
problem.
arrived there in Iwo. Meanwhile,
Okay.
you have gone ahead of us. And have you done, as in, what do we need to put in place for us to be able to enjoy this class, sir?
For now, nothing because we are still looking at the basics
Okay,
of blockchain technology. Maybe
okay,
by Wednesday, we may
okay,
begin to
sir.
get our hands dirty by Wednesday.
Okay, okay,
So,
okay.
so blockchain technology. What is blockchain technology? I want to give credit to We2 Blocks. I got these slides from them. You can also adopt the slide and make. I didn't really have enough time to modify the slide. Um, but we can definitely adopt the slides. The slides are very good and they focus the attention on some of the key concepts of the blockchain technology that we'll be looking at. So, blockchain technology. What is blockchain technology? Um, at the beginning, I would like to clear this misconception that blockchain technology is Bitcoin and Bitcoin is blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is a technology on its own. It's a technology just like the way we have internet technology and the previous technology introduced in the past. Bitcoin is one of the manifestations of blockchain technology. So we can use blockchain technology to achieve much more than decentralized finance. Than decentralized finance. So that is one key thing I would love us to put at the back of our mind. So what is this blockchain? Some people will say it's digitized. Of course, it is digitized. It's not a paper. Everything you do on the blockchain is digitized, and it is a distributed ledger. So, what makes it a distributed ledger? We all know ledger. We record transactions on ledger. So we know ledger by default, the accounting ledger that we know, and we record transactions. So what do you mean by transactions? Okay, hey, want to send or we spend so amount of money to procure something. We record this transaction. We received payment from our client in Lagos. Uh, so also receive information. So all these transactions are usually kept on the ledger. But the distributed version of this is the concept introduced by the blockchain. By default, when you let's look at a bank, for example. The bank, they do have transactions. We carry out transactions through the bank from time to time within our businesses. So, and if you look at the bank, my transaction, for instance, my statement of account, is a private thing and should be the bank must have a way to maintain that privacy level. So it shouldn't be something that will be shared, with anybody. It is my is my document, and only me should be able to access that specific document. And then the point is, who is the central point of authority here? Let's say the bank. So they generate these, and they can also, one naira that I deposit or withdraw from my bank account are kept somewhere within the bank server. But this ledger, as they have it, is always between myself and my bank. Okay, and no one else should be having that, access to this kind of information. And it makes the bank more like a central point of concentration, central point of authority, which means if anything happens to that record stored on the bank server, I may lose my entire record. I may lose my entire record. So, which is for today's technology, for today's need, this may not really suffice because I want my up-to-date information. Even if I have not even done more than the 1,000 naira transaction over the last 10 years, I need this information. We can imagine we want to apply for a UK visa or US or whichever country, and you approach your bank and the bank says, we can't produce your statement of account because someone actually hacked into our systems. So it's the next thing would be like we have to, I think we settle this matter in court. So so many things, being put together. But when it comes to the blockchain technology, the ledger where we normally record all the transactions are usually distributed. So it's not stored on just only one person's system. So for instance, now, let's say we are like 1,000 people and we are all on the Bitcoin network. So these 1,000 people would have access to this ledger. So the only thing is you don't have your fighter information, you don't have your PII, your personal identifiable information attached anywhere to the blockchain. The only thing that identifies you on the blockchain is your address, and we'll talk more about that when we get there. So the content, so even for the fact that we still distribute this ledger, you still maintain some level of privacy because nobody knows exactly who is, having what on the network. The only way they can identify that is through the address. And who owns the address? Nobody knows. Who owns the address? Nobody knows. Um, so it uses a distributed ledger, which means you can get your record as at when due. So unless maybe there is nobody again on such a blockchain network, as long as there is someone, at least one person on the blockchain network, you can always maintain the access to your information. So blockchain is digitized, it's a distributed ledger for all records. It's more like a distributed database, because it's distributed across all the users on such blockchain network, recording transactions in chronological order. Recording transactions on, so the way the transactions are added, they are also recorded in the same manner. So this was actually powered by Bitcoin, um, which was a document released by Satoshi Nakamoto some years back. He conceived this idea that, okay, this blockchain technology is there. Why can't we just put something and start making use of this blockchain technology? So there are a lot of issues coming up when they first started, putting this paper together, putting this white paper together. But at the end of the day, they were able to create a solution to some of these problems that we will look at where as we proceed. So the blockchains, when we talk about the blockchain, are usually built out of three major things three major things. So the first one is the private key cryptography. We'll discuss more, we'll break it down further so we'll understand this part very well. The point-to-point network, so which is another thing. Then the program, so the blockchain protocol itself. We'll break this down one after the other and why we need each one. So when we talk about the blockchain technology, they are basically built on these three main technologies. So, and these are the real analogies of blockchain technology. We can look at the bank account statements that contains list of your transactions, so which is more or less like you know, something that records every transaction carried out with a bank, and or maybe a spreadsheet containing duplicate